What's going on, everybody? Tom here with Black Sheep Keto, and welcome to this week's installment of Rebuild and Refocus, episode 3. And today I think I'm going to be titling this Feeding the Black Sheep, because today I am doing a full day of eating, as well as I just got back from the grocery store, so I kind of want to show you guys everything that I picked up for the week, as well as explain a lot of the recipes that I am working on. Because, after writing that cookbook and developing over 100 recipes in 8 weeks, I kind of lost a lot of that passion for cooking. I was just exhausted with it. But thankfully that's coming back, and some of that's due to some new equipment that I purchased, some of it's due to some new ideas where I don't think anybody's tried this stuff before. So I'm just determined to make something cool, and that is definitely what's kind of feeding me right now, and I'm really happy for that. Anyway, let's go through this stuff, and then we'll get into the full day of eating and some of the awesome things that I'm working on, because there's about 4 recipes that I'm going to be working through today. Starting here on the right, I've got 2 things of eggs. Both of these are like free-range eggs. I just kind of like them better, to be honest with you. I like that kind of deeper orange yolk as opposed to the yellow yolk that you get in cheaper eggs. But whatever you can get, whatever you can afford, it's all eggs. Right here, I do have a little bit of cashews, just something to snack on. I kind of get tired of eating meats and cheese as a snack on keto, so nuts are a great option as well. This one I'm going to get some questions about. A box of egg whites. Now, I should probably talk a little bit about one of the recipes that I'm working on. And it requires egg whites because it's going to need to be crispy. And this has resulted in about 36 egg yolks in a container in my refrigerator because, honestly, I just have been using fresh eggs, separating the yolks, whatever. So instead of having to go through that and separate yolks and try to figure out things to do with the yolks now, I just bought some egg whites to make my life a little bit easier. Then I got this kind of dispensing pitcher. Reason being is I've been trying to get away from things like sodas and Mio and whatever other flavored drinks there are out there, just because I want to be a little bit more controlled with what's going into my body. As great as those things are, and as much as like you can have them on keto, I'm just trying to avoid it. So I've been getting into iced tea lately, and I just wanted something that I could make a bunch of iced tea in, put it in my refrigerator, pop a cup up to it, and there I go. Because if I have to make a new batch of iced tea every time I want to drink, I'm just not going to do it. Then we have our asparagus. I needed some more baking sheets for a recipe that I'm working on. These are pretty awesome. These are short ribs, and the cross-cut version you get at a Korean barbecue restaurant. They're only choice cut, but the marbling on them is fantastic, so I couldn't help but pick up some of this from Sam's Club of all places. Don't usually buy meat there, but these looked great, so I'm going to package these down and have them for, a while to come. Got a few little pre-made salads here. I'm sure I've told you guys this before, but some of you may not have seen those videos. Olivia is allergic to pretty much everything green. I mean, I'm exaggerating slightly, but lettuces, spinach, broccoli to some degree, the list goes on. But when I want things that are like a fresh vegetable like this, I can't eat through a whole bag myself. So I'll just buy these little single serving things. While it's not the most cost-effective thing out there, when it's something that I'm craving, like I'll crave a salad, it's really just the best way for me to do it and make it work. Got a batch of pepperoni here. This is for recipe experimentation, and it's not the highest quality stuff in the world, but when you're making lots and lots of batches of something to perfect it, I tend to use cheaper ingredients as I'm developing it, and then when I start making it for meals, I'll use higher quality stuff. But when I'm gonna, end up tossing it because it doesn't taste good or burns or doesn't work, whatever, I'm not gonna waste great ingredients on that. Along the lunch meat lines, I do have some prosciutto. It is one of my favorite snacks right now. It's just, I just love the flavor of prosciutto. So a little bit expensive, but it is great kind of to snack on in moderation. Then we've got a couple things of heavy cream here. A bag of lemons. Now this is probably weird and a head scratcher for most of you, but I did mention I need to do something with about 36 egg yolks. So I'm thinking some type of a lemony custard, maybe some type of a lemon bar. That is one of the things that I'm gonna play with today and just see what I can come up with. And now we're gonna get to the stuff from my butcher, so the higher quality meats. So right here I've got some 1855 Black Angus ribeye cap rounds. So basically this is the top edge of the ribeye that they cut off and then they roll it up and make these little round steaks out of them. Absolutely delicious, great fat content, probably one of my favorite cuts of beef. I've got a Wagyu chuck roast. Sometimes I grind this stuff up, sometimes I cook it whole, maybe out on the smoker. Not sure what I'm gonna do with it yet, but I do have one of these just because I didn't have any, large chunks of meat at the house. So this may end up getting done with some garlic and rosemary, put out on the smoker. Who knows, but I have it for now. This is just some ground chuck. This is not the Wagyu stuff. I had them grind it for me. It's basically just a choice chuck that's ground up. That way it's easier to track my macros. It's not this weird hodgepodge of leftover meats that you'll get at like your local grocery store where you don't really know what's in it. I know this is ground chuck. I know the quality of it, and I know exactly how to track this on my macronutrient apps. And every time I'm at the butcher, guys, I can't resist it. I have to get marrow bones. So these are just 2 marrow bones that I have them sliced vertically. That way I can just open them up, sear the top with a little bit of, butter, lemon juice, garlic, some parsley. You know the gist. I love marrow bones. I think there's a lot of nutrition to them. I know some people don't, but if you haven't tried it, I do recommend it. Now that basically concludes the food haul for this week. Obviously, I do have a lot of stuff in my pantry, in my freezers. This meat is not going to get eaten immediately, but when I find a good deal, I do buy it. But the deep freeze is full, and I'm just kind of eating off of that and adding to it when I see things that intrigue me. In any case, it's time to get going on the recipe creation. Now I have actually a recipe to film for this week, obviously, because I try to film the cooking video that you'll see next week. I try to film it the Sunday before when I'm filming this. But I'm also going to be doing a lot of experiments, and I just want you guys to see my experiments and kind of what I go through when I'm developing a recipe. So I guess let's get into some of that. Welcome back, everybody. Now, as you can tell, I'm kind of in the same position that I always am when I'm filming a vlog. And if you guys watch my last recipe, this is probably gonna look oddly familiar, right? Now, usually I would be filming this recipe last weekend, but I got busy, so I ended up filming the shrimp curry today, which is going out like tomorrow for me, which will be like a couple days ago for you. Anyway, time travel, it's a weird thing. Now, what I have going on right now is I do have those lemon bars in the fridge. They actually look fantastic, and I tried some of the custard. It was beautiful. So I'm waiting for those to firm up a little bit, so I am gonna have that a little bit later. But right now it is dinner time, and since we are feeding the black sheep, we gotta tell you what I'm eating, right? Now, this is really just the curry that we made in that previous recipe video. It is a 4 to 6 serving recipe depending how you want to do it, but since all I've had today was that 350-ish calorie breakfast burrito and some snacking through some of the recipes that I've been working on through today, I really need to get about 1,500 calories from here. That way when I have that lemon bar and things like that, I'm a little over 2,000, maybe 2,300, which is kind of where, if I had to guess, I need to be. It's probably there. I could probably even push it to 2,500 if I wanted to. In any case, that means I'm gonna be eating a bunch of this cauliflower rice and shrimp curry, which I'm totally okay with. This stuff is absolutely awesome. So that's what we're doing here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and eat this, go for a nice little walk. In Vegas, it just came down like 30 degrees. It was 115, then the next day was 85. So I'm gonna take advantage of the beautiful weather. And once those lemon bars are done, I'll catch up with you guys. I'm pretty certain that those lemon bars, if I can perfect them just a little bit more, will be what comes out next Sunday or Saturday, depending on how I upload things. So with that, guys, hang on tight and I'll be back in just a little bit. What is going on, everybody? It is kind of getting a little bit late here, but I did have a fantastic walk. I didn't get a chance to really go out and work out in the gym today because I've just been going all day with recipes and filming, and I really wanted to film those lemon bars today just because it's such a pain in the butt to set up for the current filming process I do. I'll put a clip on the screen right now of what it actually looks like, but it takes longer to set up the situation and the room for filming than it actually does to film most of the time. So I try to get as much in as I can. In any case, the lemon bars weren't quite ready, so it's gonna take a little bit of work. Let me show you what they look like real quick here. So these are the lemon bars as they came out. I'm gonna dust these real quick and then we'll go ahead and give them a taste and see what we think. I know the custard's delicious. I just wanna make sure, now that it's all set up, I just wanna make sure that the whole process is delicious. Now, also, I did do a lot of work on a bit of another recipe that I'm working on. And you guys know me, I really like a salty, crunchy, low-calorie kind of snack, which has been hard to find on keto. And I've been working on something like this for a very long time, something to replace like a popcorn or, even potato chips, that kind of stuff. I want it to be low calorie, so mostly air. That way I can just feel like I'm munching on it quite a bit. And obviously still be keto, still be fairly easy to make. And that's kind of that secret project that I've been working on. Now, I'm not really gonna go into too much about what it is, but I'm not using high calorie things like cheese. Yeah, you can take the rind of Parmesan, stick it in a microwave and they blow up into little chunks, but they're pretty high calorie. Give me another week. Maybe next week what I'm working on will be ready enough that I can show you guys how cool it is. It's been a process, but I'm getting very close. But I will say, switching from the real egg whites to liquid egg whites, that made a difference, and I need to figure out, if I'm gonna keep doing that, how to compensate for that difference. I will say that that was 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of thing right there. But in any case, let's get these lemon bars dusted because that is gonna be the recipe coming out next week, and I wanna kind of do a preview taste test for those of you guys who are still watching. All right, so we've got some of the lemon bars here. Livy's gonna try one with me. They look great. I was worried that the crust to filling ratio was gonna be off, but it actually looks fantastic. So cheers. I dig them.
Wow.
You gotta talk to my titty. Okay, well, she doesn't want to tell you guys. I think they're great. The crust is nice and crispy. It holds together well. It almost has that kind of shortbread feeling, which is what I was aiming for. The filling on top, I could let it set a little bit longer so it's a bit firmer, but that custard is fantastic. I was worried it was going to be, not quite sour enough, but the lemon is perfect, nicely sweetened, and that dusting of powdered erythritol makes it fantastic. Do you want to try again? Go for it.
These are absolute perfection.
Well, there you have it. They are perfection, even though she can't keep a straight face while trying to tell you guys that. She's not lying, I promise. It is time to close the video. It's 8 o'clock at night here. I've still got a recipe video to edit, all sorts of weird stuff, and plenty of lemon bars to eat. So I'm gonna go ahead and close the video. If you guys like this video, leave it a like. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions for future videos, whatever, let me know in the comment section. If you have not subscribed yet, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, show us some love, and I will see you in the next one.